Come and hear
See
like
that?
snow tomorrow. I
You're
love
talking
it.
that later, aren't you?
Right, I am indeed. Health matters. Let's start with that. We've all got access to the old paracetamol, I guess. All got a few painkillers in the bathroom cupboard. Can fix a lot of things. Your headaches, your toothaches, your backaches. But what about a fractured skull? Probably not.
That's exactly what a Greymouth skateboarder says he was prescribed after a gruesome crash. Its treatment, his mother believes, had more to do with who he is rather than what actually happened. Mike Thorpe explains.
When Jeremy Awatiri was little, he could only dream of skateboarding.
Jeremy had a lot of problems when he was a child. He stopped breathing for 8 minutes when he had his inoculations at 3 months old.
That affected his balance, but where there's a will...
When he went to Greymouth School, the bigger kids, they used to hold him on the front of their boards so he could skate.
Yeah, he's got the hang of it by himself now. But everyone comes a cropper at some stage, and Jeremy is no exception.
I hopped my back truck with all my weight and I came straight down to the flat ground there.
So the board stopped and you didn't?
Yeah.
He ploughed face first into the concrete. A week later, he underwent surgery in Christchurch to have 3 plates inserted.
They reconstructed all this part of my face. One round here, one that goes round here, and one round the side of my cheek.
That's how the story ends, but how it came to that? Well, that's the insult to Jeremy's injury. So back to the Greymouth skate park where he face planted.
I was in pain, I was in shock.
Yeah.
I was bleeding out. I was asking for help.
That help came in the form of a complete stranger. Susie Grant was just leaving work when she saw Jeremy lying prone on the ground.
A couple of other young boys were there and were trying to ring through to the ambulance, which was rather unsuccessful.
Despite telling the operator they were at the skate park on Boundary Road, the ambulance wouldn't deploy.
They said there wasn't enough information, and yeah, so that was there.
So it was up to Susie.
Then I looked at him, I thought, oh my gosh, how am I going to get this fella in the car?
She did, and drove him to Grey Base Hospital, but not necessarily to safety.
The reception there wasn't that great either. It was obvious to me that he was in a lot of pain. I thought that he had delayed concussion.
Delayed concussion and then delayed care.
As I say, I was still waiting even when Mum and them turned up about an hour later.
He was sitting in a chair. He had his T-shirt all held like this in a big bundle, and the blood was just pouring from his nose and everywhere. And as he took his T-shirt down, I could see all the side of his face black, and I said to him, oh, you've done a job, mate. You've done something real bad.
But how bad? Well, they needed a doctor to tell them that.
I said, I think there's broken bones in his face. And he said to me, oh, well, nobody's face is the same both sides.
That was the doctor's response, according to Marie. Then, following a chance x-ray, her suspicions were confirmed. Jeremy had multiple fractures to his skull.
And that doctor came back and he said, oh, yes, there's some broken bones, but they're like ribs. They usually heal themselves.
Convinced that Jeremy would require further care and therefore time off work, Marie asked the doctor for a medical certificate.
And he looked at Jeremy on the bed, and he looked at me, and he said, does he work?
He does. And bloody hard too, according to his boss.
I say, couldn't speak high enough about the boy. He is a really good worker. You know, he's always was the first one to put his hand up. He always stays through the extra shift.
Okay, Jim.
If you ask Marie, she'll tell you that Jeremy's treatment at Grey Base Hospital was more than a misunderstanding.
If I'd taken my 13-year-old granddaughter up there, with her long blonde hair and her pretty face all bleeding and smashed, I think we would have been treated totally different.
Jeremy Awatiri is a man of few words, and that's all he wants.
I just wanted a simple apology from the man responsible on the day.
That, and to eat a steak again, soon.
So what do we make of this? Mike Thorpe's got some developments for us tonight. Evening, Mike, and Happy New Year to you and all of that. We got some good news, or we got some good news?
Mike, we do have some good news, but I have to say the cynic in me was expecting to hear cliches like a robust review process and then probably wait several months before we saw any sort of resolution. Well, I have to admit I was wrong, because the West Coast DHB and the Awatiris handled this the old-fashioned way. They got together, they sat down and they talked about it. That happened yesterday. And the upshot of that is that Jeremy received the apology that he was after. The hospital has admitted that the pain relief they administered on that day wasn't up to scratch, and they're looking at ways that they can improve the A&E department. So well done to the Awatiris for standing up for themselves. Well done also to the DHB for putting their hands up. I reckon today is a win for common sense.
Good stuff, mate. Nice to catch up with you. Mike Thorpe with us. I've got to say, over the holiday period, not that I want to go into detail, but I have been acquainted with the medical profession due to my children being unable to stay out of hospital and medical units, and by and large, they're pretty good, and they're overworked and they're underpaid and the hours are bad and there's thousands of people, and you'd like to think they do the right thing, eh?
It's a little bit worrying about the ambulance, though, because how many flustered people would ring up with not the precise address? You hope they'd get there or thereabouts.
Always away.
Coming up on 7 Sharp.
Tell me that we'll be fine. Just cover up my eyes for me. Tell me another lie. You know that I don't mind. Fool me. For show, don't ever tell me so. I beg you. Say what I want to hear and cover my burning ears from the truth. From the truth. Hold on. I see it in your eyes, but I'd rather live